The new Director of Agriculture, Bob FLIDER, has been on the job just a few weeks. He says as he starts, he brings a good deal of experience from his work as a lawmaker and says he can understand the rural resident, farmer, and agribusiness.
Well, in my representation, I was previously I was a state legislator. I had an opportunity to represent an area that had significant farming community, Macon, Moultrie, and Shelby County specifically, but also represented major grain processors, Tate and Lyle and ADM. And as I represented these areas, served on the Agriculture and Conservation Committee, learned a lot about the issues, about the importance of ensuring that our crops have markets and new markets, and that our farmers are successful, and that they are small business people. And as small business people, farming families need an opportunity to make sure that they can succeed. And when you think about some of the challenges that we faced in our economy over the last several years, agriculture has been solid. It's been the backbone. And so the governor, and I think rightfully so, has set a goal of doubling our state's exports by the year 2014, and that's really significant. And agriculture has to play a large role in that. So in addition to being able to put forth my passion for rural areas and agriculture to work, I get a chance to help bring Illinois out of its out of the challenges that it's faced over the last several years. And I think agriculture is definitely part of the solution, and so just honored. When they asked me would I like to be considered for the position, I didn't hesitate. I said absolutely.
FLIDER made immediate contact with ag leaders and individuals inside the ag lobby, starting the night that he was officially offered the job.
As a legislator, I work very closely with Farm Bureau and corn producers, Soybean Association. Beef Association was very gracious, I should say, in their introduction of me, and also the producers. So there's no question, they are partners in ensuring that agriculture is a success. On one hand, the Department of Agriculture is a regulatory agency, and it has a very important responsibility in terms of our food safety. But at the same time, we know that the producers and those in the industry care every bit as much about that as anybody. So, there's a great partnership, and so a big part of what we want to do is continue to market their products and their and support their livelihood. But we can't do that without staying in close contact with them. We have a number of advisory boards, commissions, et cetera, that are designed to ensure that we're making the right decisions, get advice on that we in the Department of Agriculture can use to help guide the governor, help guide the legislature. So I definitely want to see as many voices as possible help guide us and make sure we're doing the right things.
In just the first week on the job, FLIDER had to deal with a budget that will require cuts and consolidations. He says early on, the most important thing is to keep with the creative thinking to make the ag department as strong as possible. FLIDER says consolidation of an ag lab will be one of those choices.
Well, the budget, like so many, has been reduced somewhat, and one of the more significant decisions was to consolidate a lab. There are a couple of labs, one in Centralia and one in Galesburg. Well, there will be a consolidation there. But I also would say that one of the things as ag director, and this budget was very new to me coming in, started a week before the actual budget address. So getting my arms around it. But, as I look at the organization chart and look at the responsibilities of agriculture, my mission, my charge is to find a way to ensure that we have the resources we need to carry out our mission. But we have to be more creative and we have to be cost effective going forward in the future. So I want to advocate for agriculture. I want to advocate for the important things that the department is doing. And we have challenges. Every part of state government has challenges, and agriculture does as well, just as families and small business people do.
On the job for just a few weeks, FLIDER says he will need to and can rely heavily on the staff at the Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, one of the great blessings is I walk in the door and it's like, let's get to work. We want to work with you. We're glad you're here. Here's what we're doing. Here's our mission. And that you have a great number of professionals who are here, who have been working hard, and who actually have been working and doing the job they need to do despite some of the economic and fiscal challenges that we face as a state. So my hats are off to them. And that is, I think, one of the highlights of being here is that, so often people, they want to kind of talk about government bureaucracy and costs and so on, and how can we cut costs. But I could tell you that, with regard to the Department of Agriculture, we have some of the best employees and some of the most dedicated employees and a great work ethic. So that is, I believe, one of the great opportunities in state government is to work with a group of people like this.